Sandra Nicolas. I'm the Developer Evangelist of Microsoft Philippines, and I'm here today with Elczar, our SharePoint MVP here in the Philippines. So we're here today to talk about SharePoint 2010, of course, because he's an MVP for SharePoint, and we're going to discuss SharePoint 2010 as a business collaboration platform tool for the enterprise and the web. So, Zar?
So again, hello everybody. So with Microsoft SharePoint 2010 as the business collaboration platform for the enterprise and the web, generally it is providing us the following benefits. Number one, the benefit to connect and empower people. Number two, the cost-cutting benefit with SharePoint's unified infrastructure. Then thirdly, the benefit to rapidly respond to our business needs. And these are the three pillars that I would like to discuss briefly today's time.
Okay, so when you say connect and empower people, ano ibig sabihin nun, Zar?
So when we say connect and empower people, we are talking here generally of the three things. Number one, the user interface enhancement made by Microsoft for SharePoint. Secondly, the Office integration. Then thirdly, the anywhere access of our SharePoint portal. So what do these three things mean? Number one, when we say enhancement on the user interface of the product, Microsoft has made Office Ribbon available now in the interface of SharePoint 2010. Plus, of course, the interactive user interface with Silverlight and the Ajax.
Okay.
Yeah. Then
Ajax, that's not the SOAP.
No. It is the Ajax as technology.
Asynchronous JavaScript in
Yeah.
XML. Okay.
So, with this connection or empowering people, so Office integration is also a significant advancement made by Microsoft for this product. Where an in-context collaboration through the Office Backstage is already available, plus of course the enhanced offline experience of user using Office or SharePoint Workspace and even using Outlook. There's a lot of offline tools that we could incorporate with our SharePoint 2010 implementation. Then thirdly, an anywhere access of our SharePoint portal. What does it mean? That SharePoint 2010 has already a cross-browser support. Another thing, the mobile-based interaction across SharePoint and Office is already present. Then obviously the Office web app, which is a browser-based Office application.
So anywhere access from the PC to the web to the mobile.
Yeah.
And cross-platform, cross-browser.
Yeah, availability. Or of the
so
of
IE and IE.
Yeah.
IE and other browsers.
Yeah, and non-Microsoft Internet browsers.
All right.
Now, when we say the cost-cutting benefit that we could avail from SharePoint 2010, it is because of its unified infrastructure.
Okay, cost-cutting?
Yeah.
That's the second point already.
Yeah. When we say cost-cutting, we are talking here of the platform consolidation in SharePoint 2010. We are talking here of the deployment choice, the flexibility to choose the deployment type that we want or that is applicable for the business needs. And thirdly, the IT productivity. Now, what are these three things imply? Number one, when we say platform consolidation, in SharePoint 2010, there is now a solutions across internet, extranet, and internet. Secondly, for the development choice, there is now a more flexible deployment approach through an on-premise or a hosted services. Then thirdly, when we say IT productivity, SharePoint 2010 has a robust installation and it has a predictable migration process. Plus, of course, it is on top of a reduced upgrade time with a better patch management available in SharePoint 2010.
Okay. So this is the second feature, right?
Yeah, or we may say set of benefits that we could have.
So the second set of benefits, platform consolidation, namubulol na, deployment choice, and IT productivity.
Yeah. So the third and the last,
Third and last.
high-level benefit, as we say, for SharePoint 2010 is our ability to respond to the business needs or rapidly respond to the business needs. With SharePoint 2010, we could easily or we could rapidly respond to the needs of our business. And it entails three things. One is the developer productivity. Secondly is the data connectivity, which is now more flexible in SharePoint 2010. Then the third one is the composite solutions. So in brief, what are these three things? When we say developer productivity in SharePoint 2010, we are talking here of SharePoint development tools present in Visual Studio 2010. So we could easily develop components, custom components, so that we could immediately respond to the business needs using Visual Studio 2010. And of course, the higher solution quality with the new debugging tools available in Visual Studio 2010 for SharePoint. Okay. Then secondly,
ALM.
Yeah, it is exactly a part of. Then the second item is the data connectivity. So with the business connectivity services present in SharePoint 2010, we could now easily connect to third-party databases for our existing line of business applications.
So other databases apart from Microsoft SQL Server.
Yeah, it could be as well.
All right.
But the most underlined item here is we could easily connect to our line of business application data. Notwithstanding that it is an SQL server, but it is outside SharePoint content databases. So we need not therefore to rewrite our existing applications. What we need simply is to connect our existing applications to our SharePoint portal using the business connectivity services. And it could be done without writing any single line of code.
So good news for the different IT organizations out there.
Yeah,
No
exactly.
need to code their legacy application. SharePoint can connect to those legacy applications.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Then this is on top side of the client and REST APIs available to access our Office data.
Okay.
And of course, not to mention the availability of SharePoint web services and both the client and the server object models of the product.
Okay. Thanks, Elczar. Can we go back to the three benefits?
Yeah. So in summary, what we have simply shared for you guys this afternoon is we would like only to underline that Microsoft SharePoint 2010 is a business collaboration platform for the enterprise and for the web. And implementing this product, we could avail generally these three benefits that we have just discussed.
Okay.
The benefit to connect and empower our team, our people. Number two, the cost-cutting benefit that we could avail with its unified infrastructure. And the third is our benefit, to rapidly respond to our business needs.
Okay, so SharePoint 2010 again allows you to connect and empower your people, cut cost with the unified infrastructure, and rapidly respond to business needs.
Yes.
So we have a phone-in question, actually question from one of our very active community member, Jerome Ponsalan, senior developer, team lead of one of the biggest IT companies here in the Philippines. So, Jerome?
Okay, so my question is, can you use SharePoint in your organization if you're not a programmer?
The answer is a big yes. We could make use of SharePoint without investing on the development. Why? Because with SharePoint 2010, there is what we call a no-code solutions with SharePoint Designer 2010. We could make use also, like for example, of the process automation and visualization provided by us by InfoPath and Visio. And not to mention that there is no code implementation of business connectivity services as we have mentioned, that with this technology, we could easily connect to our line of business data.
So I guess it also depends on the requirements, diba? So we have out-of-the-box features. You can also use SharePoint Designer. Or if you wanted to customize it, that's the time that you have to use Visual Studio 20.
Yeah, it is the time that we have to use Visual Studio 20 for highly customized requirement. Yeah,
right. Okay, that's your answer, Jerome. So second question from one of our community members again. She's Jen Trenganes, again developer from an IT outsourcing company. So Jen?
Hello, Sir Elczar. My question is, what is the difference between a SharePoint form solution versus a SharePoint sandbox solution?
Okay, so thanks, Jen. So Jen is asking me of two things. Number one, what is a SharePoint form solution, and what is a SharePoint sandbox solution? Jen, if I understand your question right, so for your first question, maybe you are talking here of the InfoPath form services. Yeah. So with InfoPath form services, we could easily customize the default forms provided by us by SharePoint. But of course, on top of this, using InfoPath form, we could easily connect to our SharePoint list or our SharePoint library. And we could also connect with SharePoint list and library via SharePoint web services. Or we could even write, if there is a necessity, to write code or to write a custom code for your InfoPath form services. It is also possible.
Okay.
Now for the second item, the sandbox solution. Sandbox solution, Jen, is a new feature provided to us by SharePoint 2010, where the SharePoint administrator has a control over the resources for this sandbox solution. So it is a best practice that we normally deploy our custom solutions as a sandbox solution. Yeah, so that the SharePoint administrator has the control over the resources that our custom solution is consuming.
Okay, so InfoPath is used if you wanted to customize the default form
The
provided
default form,
by SharePoint 2010.
Yeah.
And Sandbox solution is another tool that allows you to manage your resources.
You could a sandbox solution is a deployment. For me, it is a deployment type, or it is a component type. I could create a custom component for SharePoint, declaring it as a sandbox component.
Which is new to SharePoint 2010.
Yeah, which is new to SharePoint 2010. Once this custom component will be deployed as a sandbox solution, the administrator now, SharePoint 2010, has a facility where an administrator could manage your sandbox solution.
Yun, Jen. That's your answer. Okay. Last question from Jairus Bondo, a technopreneur here in the Philippines. So Jairus?
What are the current and the future developments in SharePoint in terms of mobile applications?
Okay, so for the mobile, so SharePoint 2010 has a mobile-based interaction across SharePoint and Office. This is on top of the latest SMS alert feature provided by SharePoint 2010. And I think he could visit my blog at http elzara.wordpress.com to have more information on the advancement provided by SharePoint by Microsoft for SharePoint 2010 mobile application.
Okay. Thank you for your time, Elczar. Again, if you wanted to know more information about the Microsoft community and our Philippine MVPs, you can go to msforums.ph and also be a member of the Microsoft Technical Community MSP. Thank you.
Thanks.